Following up on the Orihime vs Naruto verse video, I'm going to go over and see if Sakura could solo the entirety of the One Piece verse. And if not, then how far would she go? If you enjoy videos like this that are kind of true and unique, be sure to leave a like and subscribe so you never miss them. With that out of the way, let's delve into Sakura versus One Piece. I'll start off with the scaling for Sakura and go into the One Piece segments one by one. Firstly, we can determine that Sakura to be above early feats in scaling that offer a AP range of city block to town level, stemming mostly from a giant upscale of Sasuke's crater vaporization and Jirobe's launch of Choji. There can be many different calc methods used for most feats in anime, but generally speaking, these feats all fall into the town levels of AP. We know Sakura to scale to this, as later in Shippuden she is able to combat Sasori, a member of the Akatsuki who is far above these minor feats. Sasori is a character that is above the likes of Deidara, who battles Curse Mark II Sasuke, and by this time Sasuke would be well above the start of Shippuden self, as well as Naruto and Sakura. If we was to take Sasori being above Deidara at face value, then he would also be above Deidara's Sui Bomb that held around the small country level of output. We know this to be widely consistent within this linear path of scaling, as the Akatsuki are the enforcers of hunting down the Jinchuriki and Biju, while the Jinchuriki are for the most part stronger than their Bijus, and Biju bombs on average are in the country levels of AP. That said, and keeping in mind Akatsuki should be on par, if not above this, then Sakura by the war arc is in the country level of AP. During the fight with Kaguya, Sasuke, Naruto, and Sakura are able to defeat Kaguya. Sakura is able to land a hit on Kaguya and in some cases causes a boo-boo on her head. Whether there's a mark or not, Kaguya felt that punch. There's no denying that. Not saying Sakura is scaling to this Kaguya of course, but you pretty much get the point. Given Kaguya is scaling above Hagoromo and Madara, who are in the moon to planet levels, while Kaguya herself is debatably much higher than this, Sakura should at least be continental. If you're not 100% buying that she's in those moon ranges or continental, then she definitely is by the time of Boruto. Given their counterparts are much stronger and experienced than their younger selves, she's even able to battle Shin, a character who is either stronger than Madara or on par with him. I don't care to debate or dabble into headcanon on who's stronger with statements and whatnot, but we can all agree that adult Sakura is above 8 Gates Guy, who is able to damage Shubidara. Well, most of us at least. Anyways, adult Sakura by the time of the Boruto era should be close to the moon levels or even planet levels. If you're buying a huge jump between Naruto and Boruto, then this becomes widely consistent as well. To keep most people at peace, we will be using the moon level of scaling. For speed, I feel like light speed is pretty undecided in the power scaling community, but I don't understand why Naruto / Boruto characters would not be light speed, to be honest. Even if we was to upscale the light thing attack Naruto dodged, then Sakura would still be light speed. And other than this, there's multiple light speed stated attacks that we see characters dodge. And since Sakura is able to combat characters who are vastly above this, then in turn she's light speed. There's also the fact that Kid Kakashi was able to cut a lightning bolt, and using common logic, then upscaling would present light speed. It's likely Sakura's FTL or FTL plus from upscaling these lower statements and feats. Moving on to the scaling for the One Piece verse, just like the Orihime video, I'll be grouping them into 3 main categories: low tier, mid tier, and high tier. The low tier will feature characters in groups such as Enel, Cracker, Doflamingo, Kobe, Killer, Jack, and most of the Straw Hat crew, Nami, Usopp, Robin, etc. Also use this tier for Sakura to wipe out any fodder not mentioned, as I'll only mention the important characters within said tiers, and not every single character or army foot soldiers. Sakura shouldn't really struggle at all with this tier. The only issue, to be quite blunt, is the durability, as in One Piece we do send them tank and endure various attacks. But Sakura's AP would outweigh this. The scale for this tier would range from mountain to island level, and possibly a little above that from these characters affecting others who scale a bit higher. Their speed should barely be on par with Sakura, as even Chopper was able to keep pace with Queen and dodge his laser. So low tier for One Piece should be around island level with light speed or near light speed combat and reactions. Sakura of course does outscale this tier, and should be able to one-tap all of them, mostly just struggling with the speed and durability like mentioned earlier, since it's more consistent in One Piece for characters to be light speed. Other than that, the only character in this tier that brings anything to the table would be Cracker and Dofi, but we've seen Sakura deal with strings and clones before, so she's clearing this tier. Next up being the mid-tier One Piece characters, These next tiers will have a lot more characters to scale and put up against Sakura. This tier includes Zoro, Sanji, Yamato, Crocodile, Green Bull, Katakuri, Fujitora, Ace, Sabo, Queen, King, Law, Kid, Lucci, Kuma, Boa, and Marco. This tier will be much more of an issue for Sakura to deal with. The scaling range for this tier is from country level to multi-continental. From just outscaling previous scales, as most of this tier does have the potency of damaging a Yonko, who we know bare minimum is scaling to an old Whitebeard with the quick fruit. The speed is also going to be well into the FTL plus tier, from outscaling post time skimp speed feats and direct feats. So we do know that the speed will be pretty much even, and the AP won't be much of a vast difference that they cannot damage Sakura. Boa and Kuma would be the first to go in this tier. Boa's abilities will be futile, and Kuma alongside Boa is just the weakest in this tier. Kuma does have good speed to combat Sakura, but Sakura overall isn't going to be affected by anything Kuma has to offer. Marco, Ace, Queen, and Crocodile would be next. The Logios would be useful, but I don't see Sakura getting overwhelmed by their abilities, especially since she has 100 healings and the raw stat advantage. San isn't doing anything, and we saw Queen get tagged by Tony Chopper, so nothing more to say here. Yamato, Green Bull, Lucci, and Katakuri are the next victims. Yamato is just a brute force in speed. Once Sakura catches her, she's done for. Green Bull is just a worse Yamato, and Lucci doesn't have anything other than minorly keeping pace with Gear 5. Which is impressive, but not on that level. Katakuri has the highest chance within the set of opponents with Future Sight and a Logia effect, but Sakura would be able to figure out something eventually, and not to mention that he doesn't have any means to defeat her. Lastly, Zoro, Sanji, Fujitora, Sabo, King, Kid, and Law. Fujitora is a better Green Bull with more experience and better abilities. He could do some Madara-esque shit, but Sakura is likely busting meteors open. Kid and Law was shown to combat a Yonko just like Zoro, so we know they have some good feats to back up attacks. Law has durability negation and some broken abilities that could snag him the win if Sakura isn't cautious. Zoro also has Haki to enhance his arsenal. Sabo is a stronger ace with better feats. He's even able to escape a room full of Gorosei, who are among the high tiers in the One Piece verse. Although he doesn't have any standout abilities, he's definitely a good opponent. Sanji won't attack Sakura, so she takes that free win. This tier offers much more of a challenge, but doesn't have the raw stats. She could get caught up in some broken abilities, but it's very unlikely. They do have the speed edge, so do what you will with that. If she gets caught up, she's done for in the case of Law, but other than that, she's killing everyone else. Now for the high tiers of One Piece. This tier is on par with Sakura's AP and faster than herself. The range being multi-con to planetary. And yes, both One Piece and Sakura could be scaled higher. Not going to be using the absurd assumption that the One Piece planet is a fucking star or some bullshit. Yes, the planet is bigger, but so is the Naruto world, so there's no reason to scale them that much higher. If anything, large planetary is fair. And by this tier, characters should be multiple times faster than Light, so since they should be both on par with one another, what characters does Sakura beat? She's beating Big Mom, Rayleigh, Shiki, the Gorosei, Garp, and Sengoku alongside Kizaru. The only issue here, like I've mentioned, is speed. Other than that, her AP should be above these characters, if not even. She also has 100 healings for a little boost. The Haki department will also present Sakura with much more issue to maneuver around. She's a better and physically stronger Garp, so Big Man Galaxy Punch is like a fart to her, to be honest. But Prime Garp should be much higher, obviously. Next up is the mystery group, in which we don't have enough info to really gather whether she will win or lose. But these characters include Emu, Dragon, Rocks, and the Fingerling. We know them to be in this scaling range, but whether they're higher or lower with broken abilities is yet to be seen. The ones I'm on the edge with is Mihawk, Kuzan, and Kaido. We've seen Mihawk, but he's yet to do anything crazy. And there's statement that he's on par with Shanks, but I'm an advocate Shanks investor, so I don't buy this and rather use the skill department instead. But his Haki is broken, so this fight is a toss-up for me. Kuzan has ice, but I can just see her punching through most of it. The only problem would be fast freezes and the speed edge. Finally, Kaido, who is just a tank, and they would likely go back and forth. He does have higher durability than her, and likely even AP. So whoever outlasts who wins this. It's more likely than not Kaido, since he has better stamina and whatnot. Now for the characters I don't see her beating are Shanks, Luffy, Whitebeard, Akainu, Roger, and Blackbeard. Shanks is the Haki GOAT and likely the strongest Yonko. Luffy was shown to defeat Kaido in his Yonko status, so we know him to be in the planet range. Whitebeard is just the creator of the most used AP feat. Blackbeard has 2 devil fruits along with Haki, which makes him pretty busted. He was shown to struggle with Law, but he is a meathead, so yeah. Then there's Akainu, who just has the highest AP devil fruit, and Roger was the pirate king who's able to clash with Prime Whitebeard. So Sakura solos like 99% of the verse, with like 6 characters only beating her. If we was to take both verses max AP scaling, then Sakura clears, but giving this reasonable scaling, she almost solos. One Piece is just a much faster but not as strong up until the pinnacle of the verse. With that said, what do you think? Do you think she solos, or is she getting beat by Brook and Chopper? Let me know down below, and if you enjoy versus battles or fun matchups such as this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Till next time, peace.